this is Yojita, aka Yoji.
And today we welcome you all to another episode of Beyond the Bookshelf, where we, your friendly neighborhood podcasters, talk about books that go way beyond than R.S. Agrawal or N. Avasthi.
We break down books that are not just famous on Book Talk or Bookstagram, but the ones that deserve to be.
The book for today is a very special one. We chose a real tale straight out of the blood-curdling concentration camps of Auschwitz.
Ladies, gentlemen, and others, book for today is none other than The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris.
Love still exists. Even here.
Set in the concentration camps, the story follows around the blooming love between Lale and Gita, who amongst the difficult times found a reason to live each other.
When Lale Sokolov finds himself at a concentration camp, stripped of all his rights, he has no other option but to accept his fate. The very reason that could destroy them becomes the very to survive.
Very true, Yoji, but one must not neglect the historical and political tragedy that unfolds throughout the story. To know more about that era of cruelty, joining us today is scholar Nishtha Bhatia, specializing in German history.
Thank you so much for having me here. Till date, the Holocaust remains one of the darkest and the most systematically executed atrocities in the human history. Auschwitz, where this story unfolds, was the largest of the Nazi concentration and extermination camps. When prisoners arrived, their names, belongings, and identities were stripped away. In their place, a number was tattooed onto their forearms. Lale Sokolov was chosen as the camp's tattooist. Through Lale and Gita's story, the novel doesn't just recount historical suffering, it reclaims the personal voices lost within it.
See this, Janvi? Literal goosebumps. With that being said, let us also not neglect the psychological area of the narrative. Without further ado, let us connect to Dr. Kyra, a practicing clinical psychologist.
Thank you for having me here today. Looking at Lale and Gita's stories, the first thing that stands out is their sheer trauma and the pain that they've endured. Even in these conditions, they formed a unique bond. This bond is what we psychologists call trauma bonding. Shared suffering can create intense emotional connections, and for Lale and Gita, the horrors of this camp brought them together. Although Lale was a prisoner like everyone else, his position gave him slightly more freedom and security, but it also came with heavy moral and emotional burden. Having a small advantage created a deeper conflict internally, which formed a survivor's guilt. Heather Morris captures this very beautifully because this story does not just portray trauma, it shows resilience, empathy, and ways human connection can survive even in the darkest times and circumstances.
This book keeps proving itself again and again.
Second, that this book is way beyond just history or psychology. It teaches us something even more: trust, power of love, and resilience.
Once you read this book, you can never be the same again.
Absolutely. Anyways, what time is it, Yoji?
It's fan feature time!
And the lucky fan who has gotten the chance today is Akshara.
OMG, this is amazing. I finally got the opportunity. I'm so nervous. Anyways, honestly, the Tattooist of Auschwitz hit me the way harder than I expected. It's a love story, but not the kind you are used to. This one's born out of fear, pain, and survival. What got me the most was how real it felt. You don't just read about the Holocaust here, you see it. The numbers, the names, the faces, the choices, and still, despite everything, there's this quiet spark of beauty and courage. It's a reminder that love and resilience can exist even in the darkest spaces. For me, that's why I'll never forget this book.
Great. That's it for today, guys.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. This was Janvi
And this was Yoji.
signing off.